So you were speaking before about the being in alignment. You didn't use the word alignment. You used another word, but not wobble. Not wobble. I don't want to say not. I want to say being aware of what your source is aware. Like it seems to me that life is somewhat illusionary in that I've got all these external things, contrast, wonderful things to cause a feeling for me, but the feelings that I feel have really nothing to do with the things outside of me. It's like inside and inside.
Every feeling that you have is only about one thing, and that's the relationship between the thought that the source within you is thinking about this and what you're thinking about this. In other words, it's just a basis, agreement or disagreement of opinion of life. Source thinks you're wonderful. If you don't think you're wonderful, you've got discord.
So is what I'm thinking, does it differ, or like is there one thought that thought source is always thinking that I could know or be aware of that would be a way to center myself in that core belief or knowing that source has? Because they've got all these conditions, but fear feels like fear, sad feels like sad.
You're going to really like this. So focus for a moment on the concept of trajectory and think about the trajectory that source is on relative to you, success, joy, and think about the trajectory that you might be on in any moment in time. Maybe the same, maybe not, but so think source and think trajectory, and then think momentum. Trajectory, momentum. So by that we mean think trajectory, momentum, meaning general less momentum, specific more momentum. So think about source, who has been, we're talking about this, you, the source of you. We're talking about the source that is dovetail with you. So think about the incredible amount of details that source has lived with you, and think about how specifically magnificent source knows that you are. Oh, can't even find words to explain it. But you don't feel that way a lot of the time because you haven't been harmonizing with source. You've been harmonizing with your mother and with your peer groups and with your you've been trying to get appreciation and attention from, you've been looking for love in all the wrong places. So feel source, trajectory, and momentum. Feel what source must be feeling about you. So let's say that source knows your brilliance, knows your incredible abundance, knows all of these things about you, but you don't know them because you've been practicing a different thought. So you're thinking really differently than source is thinking about you. So you just can't get there. Every time you try to get hold of it, you just beat up on yourself more. So then you say, well, would I rather feel fear or happiness? Happiness. You just aligned with source. Would I rather feel confusion or clarity? Clarity. You just aligned with source. Now, you just aligned with source. Source is momentum. What source knows about you is moving way faster. You're not ready for that, but you just aligned with source. Would I rather love you or hate you? I'd rather love you even though I hate you. But I would rather love you when I would rather love you. Would I rather have fun or be miserable? Would I rather? So as you play this game, we know it feels silly to you, and you just do the easy part. You align with source. You easily did. Everyone that did it today, it was easy. Everyone that listened in, you could feel how easy it was. You aligned with source, 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 and now you've aligned with source. There's no contradiction in your vibration. And when there's no contradiction in your vibration, you move the momentum. It just has to happen that way. Because without resistance, you've got speed, you've got momentum, you see. That's the way you do it.
Okay.
But if Source knows this about your prosperity and you're living this, Source knows that you can be or do or have anything. And you don't know that because this didn't go well and this didn't go well and this isn't going well and that's not going well. It's almost impossible for you to find any harmony over there. It's not likely to do it. But if you understand the physics of the laws, if you understand law of attraction, and you do, and you understand the concept of momentum, and you do, and you can tell the difference between something that's general and something that's specific, and you can put the word momentum into that concept, and then you can acknowledge, hey, I can align with Source if I don't have to convince myself that black is white and that white is black and the good is bad and that bad is good. And if I don't have to work through all of it, if I don't have to figure out what the real proper parenting technique is. Do you let your kids stay up? Do you give them freedom? Do you stay home and be a homeschool mother? Do you go to work? Should you work? Should you be with your kids? Should you let them socialize with others? Should they go to a private school? Should they go to a public school? Should they be involved in sports? Should they be allowed to watch television? Should they be allowed to go to movies? Which movies should they be allowed to go to? What kind of movies should they go? Should you go to the movies with them? Should you vet all the movies before they go? Should the school take them to movies? Should the school take them on field trips? Does the school know what they're doing with the field trips? Does the school know who the teachers are that they've even got in the classroom? You just make yourself nuts out there in the weeds as you try to sort all of this stuff out there. All you got to do is find alignment with Source, and Source will take you on the path of non-resistance to the details that you have carved out every single time.
So any alignment gives all alignment. I mean, it gives access to alignment any place.
Alignment is the best word, and let's add more words to it. Alignment, harmony, path. So have we convinced you that you were born on this path of well-being? And can you feel how as you tune yourself to the path, the easy way, you're looking for good feelings, you're looking for fun, you're looking for clarity, you're not trying to change conditions in order to find that. You're finding it early into the day before the conditions have distracted you from that, and you've practiced the feeling of that until law of attraction has taken you into more and more conditions and manifestations that support how you want to feel. So now you're mostly feeling pretty good. And your path, this is the sensation, the feeling that we want for you to feel. We want you to feel what happens when what you've been asking for, which is this vibrational reality that you've been creating and that the Source within you knows and is. What happens when you don't contradict it? So here you are. You're just loving for no good reason. You're just feeling calm for no conditional reason. You just are because it feels better. So you are on the same vibrational wavelengths with Source. And then the things that you've been asking for can be realized by you because you're on the same vibrational wavelength. And then the details of that's the realization of that is what causes the momentum to become more and more and more. In other words, can you feel the momentum increasing from these words, energy, vibration, thoughts, words, action? Can you feel momentum? In other words, isn't there more momentum in action than there is word? And isn't there more momentum in word than there is thought? So if you take the time to line up before you start talking and before you start acting, then the momentum that you add will be on track. And you're going to, right now, if this may just feel conceptual to you, but we promise you it is the absolute fact of the vibrational universe and how it works. So as you focus there, it will prove itself to you over and over and over again until in a really short time, we're talking about just a few days, you'll have this, not only this sensation, that in that alignment, your path lights up. And the way you translate your path lighting up, because that's sort of annoying to have someone just keep saying, your path's going to light up, your path's going to light up, your path's going to light up. You got to say, well, how am I going to know that? Because there's a tendency to believe that your work is to go looking for the path. It's not over there, it's not over there, it's not over there. Are you it? Are you it? Are you? You're not going looking for the path. Your path is right beneath your feet. The impulse, it's the impulse. It's the impulse that you're feeling for. The impulse to call someone, the impulse to say this, the impulse to go there, the impulse to eat this, the impulse. It's an impulse. That's the way your path will light up. The emotion that you feel, it's an impulse. And so what Esther's begun to notice, oh, she's so in love with her path. She's so in love with the feeling of her path. She's so in love with the way the path feels. It's so exciting to step on the path. And the thing that's so exciting about it is that where the path's leading, which is always somewhere and always somewhere wonderful, is irrelevant when stepping on it is so satisfying right here and now. In other words, here it is right now. In other words, this idea was the best idea I've ever felt, and I'm alive with this idea. Stepping on the path. Well, what's it going to lead to? Is it going to make you any money? Where are you going to go? Who's going to be on it? Who cares? I'm alive right now. The path made me feel really good right now. And it will continue to make me feel really good right now. And so that's one really good feeling of the impulse of being on the path. And you start dovetailing with others who are on the path, and it just gets better and better till people that are around you, you just feel so good about life. That's what you came. That's what your intention was. You never intended to get off the path. Doesn't matter if you've been off the path, but when you get on it, how sweet it is. So this is another thing that Esther's just discovering now that her path feels so certain to her most of the time. When she steps off of it, it is so obvious. Not like a punishment, not like, oh, you have failed, source. Simply, it's obvious I'm not on my path now. On the path, on the path, on the path. Happy, feeling good, clear-minded, clarity, thoughts flowing, feeling really good. Off the path, slower, boring. On the path, brighter, feeling better, impulse, more vitality, feeling good, thoughts clear, loving it, love you, love this, like this, look at that, yum, 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 yum. Off the path. You can just feel, but you don't really know that. You're taking it conceptually until you've played this game a little while. And before you know it, your path will be so obvious. People will be saying, why are you so happy? Because I'm on the path. Where's it leading? Don't know, don't care. To good places. Well, don't you need to know? What if there's a corner that you don't know about? Oh, I'll know when I get there. I always know where my path is leading. How do you know? By the way I feel. You're nuts. That's what they'll say. You're nuts. But you'll know.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.